As someone who had never played a Tales game before making this video, I wanted to know, what is the best Tales game to start with? Even after reading through various Reddit forums and blog articles and finding several different answers, I couldn't come up with a definitive answer to that question. However, if there is one thing many Tales fans in the West have in common, it's that their journey into the franchise began with Tales of Symphonia. Tales of Symphonia is widely regarded as one of the most iconic games in the series. Although it was the 5th main title to be released, it was the first to be popularized in the West, so naturally it was the game many people started with. Just as it was for many of the Tales fans, I wanted Tales of Symphonia to be my gateway into the Tales series. Before I explain why I bought the remaster, despite the fact that there are issues with it, I want to share my thoughts on Tales of Symphonia. It was truly a life-changing experience. In Tales of Symphonia, the world of Sylvaron is in a state of decline due to the depletion of mana. Because of this, the Designs who were once sealed away have re-emerged and are terrorizing humanity, performing biological experiments on humans held captive in facilities called human ranches. It's up to an idiot with swords and his intelligent best friend to bring the Chosen, who is basically Jesus, to each of the seals to awaken the summoned spirits protecting Sylvaron. Doing so will awaken Martel, who will then restore the world's mana and seal away the Designs once again, thus completing the journey of world regeneration. Along the way, the trio encounters the other main characters that eventually accompany them. Even with a large ensemble of major characters, the game has some of the best character development I've ever seen in a video game. The game has such a compelling story, and what I like about how the game presents its narrative is that there is a notable distinction between plot-related information you need to progress through the game and optional scenes called skits that show the engagement between your party members. Even though I enjoyed seeing how my party members interact with one another, I can understand that not everyone will want to sit through it, especially if it's not important to the story, and the developers were aware of that. The developers also took into consideration the ease of navigation across the world map. It feels so rewarding that you get access to better modes of transportation as you progress through the game so that you're not running on foot everywhere. The world map is definitely not the prettiest thing in the world, and compared to the overworld models of the different towns and areas, your character just looks like Godzilla ready to destroy the city of Tokyo for the 5th time. At the start of the game, you run from one area to the next, and because of the awkward up-close angle of the camera, you'll occasionally bump into enemies that spawn right in front of you and look nothing like they do in battle. Over the course of your ventures, you'll be able to use the long-range mode, which mitigates the awkward camera angle by backing up the camera so you can see in a wider range and makes you a bit faster. But you're unable to pick up any items you might find or enter the next area until you stop using the long-range mode. Eventually, your main mode of transportation will be soaring through the air in flying scooters, and you'll almost never have to walk or use the long-range mode ever again. Travel is so much faster, you can reach areas that were previously inaccessible, and you can avoid enemies in the overworld. But the one thing I appreciated most in regards to the ease of navigation was the quick jump feature. It lets you skip through some of the passageways you'll find between areas once you've completed their puzzles for the first time. These puzzles can be quite cumbersome to repeat, so this feature was a huge time saver. However, as mind-numbing as they are, I really enjoyed the puzzles in this game. Some of them are as simple as pushing a block around to make new platforms, while others can be as annoying as trying to get a fish to bring you a fruit without letting the fish get eaten. The harder puzzles definitely aren't something you can knock out in a matter of minutes. Sometimes it would take me about an hour before I could advance to a new area, but there was a sense of accomplishment and relief hearing the little jingle after completing part of the puzzle. The puzzles are a much needed break from all of the exposition, especially since JRPGs are known to be pretty long, story-intensive games. That being said, the natural gameplay loop in this game is well balanced thanks to the battle system.
I was just warming up.
Unlike most traditional JRPGs, where battles are either turn or menu-based, the games in the Tales series have real-time combat. They feature a battle system distinct to the series called the Linear Motion Battle System, in which characters are bound by a plane of movement, allowing them to move and attack in any direction along the axis connecting them and their enemy. Also, by changing the direction of the analog stick, you can change how you attack and what techniques you perform. Both of these ideas allow for a style of gameplay similar to early fighting games. Now, I struggled to do well in even some of the early significant battles. I would constantly have to juggle attacking the enemy and avoiding their attacks while also using recovery items to restore and revive my party members. Mindless button spamming definitely didn't work in this game, and that was one thing I grew to appreciate about Tales of Symphonia. It truly taught me to go into battle with a strategic mindset and think about what combos and skills I should use. In addition, the Tales series takes advantage of the party system by having a mechanic called Unison Attack. As the name suggests, the Unison Attack allows for all of your characters to attack one enemy using their techniques at the same time. However, you can only use the Unison Attack whenever the Unison Attack gauge is full. The gauge slowly increases each time you hit an enemy, so performing lots of combos will fill the gauge rapidly. It also carries over to each battle, so you can prepare a full gauge before it is time to face a tougher enemy. The Unison Attack mechanic adds such a nice layer of depth to the already impressive combat. I loved Tales of Symphonia so much that when I heard the game was being remastered for modern platforms, not only did I buy it for the Switch, I purchased the Chosen Edition, which includes art prints, stickers, and a steelbook for the game. However, the general consensus among reviewers and many of the fans is that this was not a good remaster. I can look past the fact that the remaster remains at 30 frames per second as it was in the Steam version, as opposed to the 60 frames per second it had on the GameCube. However, there have been many reports of it crashing at random times during the playthrough, and this is a serious problem, especially because the game doesn't feature autosave. The issues have turned many people away from this game, so that begs the question, why did I buy the remaster? I will always be grateful for the Nintendo Switch. It's the console that truly brought me back into the world of gaming. I remember the times when my partner and I played games on her Switch, right before I bought my own. We would get frustrated over the levels in Cuphead and play Mario Kart until I could win against her, which I never did. Those fond memories I have are what ultimately convinced me to buy my own Switch. Since then, although we are over 300 miles apart, we have had so much fun playing games together. As I was playing through Tales of Symphonia for this video, I couldn't help but share everything I enjoyed about the game with her because I enjoyed every minute of it. Luckily, Tales of Symphonia Remastered carries over its co-op feature from the original game that I would love to take advantage of, so the next time I visit my partner, we can share this experience together. So ultimately, the reason why I bought the remaster was because it came out on what is probably my favorite console. I hope that the developers can bring patches and updates to this game that resolve the existing issues so that everyone can enjoy this game on modern platforms, because Tales of Symphonia is such a masterpiece. Before I sign off, I want to thank you guys so much for the overwhelming support on the last video. I absolutely loved hearing your feedback and having discussions in the comments. It makes me so happy that you guys enjoy my content, and it really motivates me to make more videos like this one. If you guys enjoyed today's video, be sure to hit that like button because your support is greatly appreciated. Let me know down in the comments what other Tales games you would like me to cover, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.